I want to get this cake out before I even start my mousse. But we'll talk about the mousse, and then the cake is done, I'll deal with the cake, and then we'll go back to the mousse, right? So you can follow along with that, that'd be good. There we are. So, for this chocolate honey mousse, we're going to use a little bit of a yolk. We're going to boil some honey, which I've already got in my pan here. After it boils, we're going to whisk it into the yolk. We're going to get a light and thick in color. What? Light in color and thick in texture. There we go. Speck or something there. So, boil the honey. Now it's kind of set up here so this gathers in the corner of the bowl like I talked about. So just kind of twist my Sanditel around, let it tilt at a little bit of an angle. If you made well, it's emulsification. If you're making a salad dressing emulsified or mayonnaise, same thing. You'll tilt the bowl so you're just whisking in one spot. So you're not chasing it everywhere around the bowl. So anyway, I'll boil this, I'll drizzle it in as I'm whisking it. I'll get it really light and thick. I might even take it over to a flame, this bowl, take it over to a flame and get it whipped up a little more. And then I'll put this chocolate into it. The chocolate I've already got melted, it's on a bain-marie. I want to have the bain-marie to keep this warm. The biggest problem that happens with this mousse is that this chocolate is not warm enough, and then when I whip my whipped cream and put that in to the base, now by that point the honey and the yolk and the chocolate will be all together. If that base is not warm enough and the cream goes in, it starts to solidify the chocolate and it gets little specks in it. So be really careful to keep this warm. And once the water is holding temp, you can turn the flame off, but make sure it's kind of warm and let it sit on there. And you know, get this ready. We'll put the chocolate in here, we'll put the rum in here. And then that's the warm base. So then eventually this bowl here will end up on this bain-marie. I'll whip my cream. In the packet, it says, or procedure, I don't know what it says. I think it says gently whisk your cream into the base. You want to whisk the hell out of it. If you don't, this will cool down so much it'll get specks. Okay? So we'll take the cream to a soft peak.
What do we do with the hell after it comes out?
Huh?
What do we do with the hell after it comes out?
Funny. We'll whip it in there really crazily. So you get that whisk and just go. Don't go slow. It'll get too cold. You get little chocolate chips or chocolate mousse. So you really gotta go at it. What that also means though is that once all this is together, you'll lose some of the chocolate to the side of the bowl if you're not careful. So you're not only whisking the mixture, you're also scraping the side of the bowl. Because as the chocolate cools down, it's going to start to stick. So you want to make sure you get all in there. If you don't whisk the sides of the bowl, that will become your specks floating around in your mousse. So, or chocolate chips, everyone will get it. So very important, you get this airy, honey and yolk, and then when everything is together, make sure the base is warm. Because the chocolate will react to the cold cream, and you'll see it happen. So you got to whisk it. Be ready to whisk it really quickly. And that is like not what it says in the procedure in the book. Packet. So, you guys have any questions on that? Alright, you'll see it happen, but don't be afraid. Really whisk the hell out of it. Don't go slow. Just gonna rotate this real quick. Not any color on it yet, but I know it's gonna be a little sticky right now, and it is, so. That's a little bit low. That corner here is turn up a little bit. Right. So when that comes out, here's the other thing. I'll be cooking or working with it when it's warm. You guys have the luxury of working with that after it's sat and maybe feed wrap, so that'll be good for you guys. So I'm gonna bring it out, dust it, parchment, tea tray, sandwich it, flip it, Get the hot sheet tray off the bottom, peel off the sill pad slowly. And again, that also translates to the opera later on. You're gonna slowly peel off the sill pad. As a general rule, you don't want to store your sponge cakes on the sill pad. Technically, they're non-stick, but something that has a fair amount of fat like that or sugar, it will stick as it sits, and it just tears it up if it sits on there and just store it on there. So make sure as you bake it, cool it, and then as soon as you can, get that sill pad out of there. And then at that point, it'll be dusted both sides, parchment, top and bottom, and then cater out on a sheet tray. That's how you can store it, but do not leave it on the sill pad, because it'll just tear it up and you can go to take it off later. Alright, so if I can talk you guys through this one. So I'm going to cut that strip of cake lengthwise, 3/4 of an inch wide. We'll take it off of the sheet tray and have it on the table. What I want to do is end up with a nice seam inside the cake, or inside the form here. So what I want to do is, I'm going to cut one side of the strip before we coil it up. So it's going to be a long strip still. I'm going to cut one side perpendicular to the edge of the cake. So this is your strip of cake, roughly. This will be the edge of it where it's a little thin, or the sill pad kind of went up the corner, so it's a little bit, I don't want that, so you're going to trim it off flat there. And you'll also want to make sure the stripes end up facing out on this too. So the cut end is going to go on the outside of the coil. Yeah. So when you roll this up, we'll actually have it flat. I'll sit up on its end or edge and roll it up. Okay. So make sure the cut side is on the inside of the coil. The stripes are facing out. All right. That way we can pick it up in that coil, set it on the inside, and then slowly unroll it up against the acetate. Yeah. What did I say? Cut side inside or out?
Inside.
I did! Damn it! Should be outside. Cut side on the outside of the coil, sorry.
Just repeating what you just said. Trying to get it in memory. You would need to, if you said it. Guys, so I'm awake. We have to play.
So I'm going to uncoil it inside. It's going to overlap. So you'll have one cut side, and then the other side that's not been cut yet or trimmed. This end we're going to cut to match up with that end after it's in the cake form. What we want is a nice straight seam. So how we'll do that is the cut side, this will be on the outside. Is it inside or outside? Outside, yes. All right, outside. Once this is uncoiled, this will be on the inside, the uncut side. Then we're going to see where it overlaps. What we'll do is cut this side just a little bit long, probably like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch long. And the way we'll do that is we'll kind of pull it back, hold the finger on one side, and then press the back of it with the knife, just very gently. It'll cut through easily. And then do a straight line on this side. And then we'll back that out and kind of bring it together again so it's nice and snug. And you'll see me do this, but I might forget what direction the cut's at. So now I've got parchment underneath the sill pad just to keep it clean. I've got some stencil paste on the underside of the sill pad, but you don't have to do that. I just have it under there. So you'll see that, but don't let that throw you. Normally we wouldn't have that there. I was trying to keep the sheets very clean. So when you do this on the sill pad, make sure that you're not doing it on the sill pad. So so don't cut the silk pad. All you want to do is separate the cake from the sheet tray. So don't put a lot of pressure on it, just gently run the line all the way around. So it'll fall out when I actually flip this thing over. Come out, there we go. So all this, because there's steam coming off of it still, and if I do this without it, it's going to stick to all the parts I'm about to use. And steam again is going to roll this up, so there. So I'll put this thing over, separate it so it shouldn't come out of this pan. Good. Again, this is not here. What? What's that over there?
Not there.
Then corner to corner here, what you don't want to do is pull this straight up, because it might catch and rip the cake, so you want to just pull it back on itself. I usually go to the center, and this is releasing pretty well. It doesn't always do this though, so you have to be really careful, go slow. Pull back on itself, corner to corner.
It smells really good.
Yeah, so this actually broken pretty well today, sometimes it doesn't do this. There. So now, this will already be in a better position for you guys to use it, but slide this off here. Maybe.
That's not working well.
Alright, so this is where I can really use that yardstick, damn it. Alright. So again, 3/4 of an inch. I usually do a tick mark at the bottom, a tick mark at the top, and then use the yardstick and trim them up. Actually, do this first, but I should have done it. Trim this very end off here. Alright, 1/4 inch. Top, bottom. Join them up. And I could, but I'm a guy, I don't do that. I know. It's not true. Anybody can do that. Yeah. Just take this. Onto this guy. It's got. This is a little more delicate. You guys will have a better time, so it'll be cool by then. But alright, so once I get that cut, straight cut, and this, yeah, uncut side goes on the inside. So not a tight coil, just enough to pick it up. If you get too tight, you might break it or crimp it, it'll crack. So then so we're going to cut side on the outside, uncut on the inside of the coil. So I'm going to unroll it, make sure it's pretty tight against the acetate. And if you can guess already, we're not using the whole length of that strip. We'll lose, I don't know, 6 inches of it. Make sure you put extra in there. Don't try to cut it too short. Be sure it's flat against the acetate as much as possible. And then where the overlap is, I can see it right here. I'm then gonna pull it back and cut it about a 1/4 inch longer than that, so I have a nice snug seam. So a finger on one side, knife on the other, light pressure, doesn't take much. And then I'll back it out and then I'll tuck it back in. So the seam is right there.
Wow, it matched up.
It matched up.
Did it?
Almost
Nice.
perfectly. Yeah, you can't even notice.
Sweet. If it does crack, you can, with enough pressure, after it's in the strip, kind of push it back together and you might not be able to tell where it is. So don't give up. If it breaks, just be gentle with it. But if it does, for the most part, if you press it together in the form, you won't be able to see it. Anyway, so that's in there ready to go. Now on to the mousse. Alright, let me do this another time. Alright. Boil the honey, here we go. Can someone get, I got a pint container of cream and then a bowl and a whisk in there too, please, on the left-hand side. Thank you. Offset, offsets. Garnish. Boil. So you want to see bubbles throughout the honey, not just on the edges. Make sure it's heated through the center, so you know it's all hot enough. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I think this smells like wet dog when it comes together with the, well, even by itself, just heated honey to me, boiled honey smells like wet dog to me. It might not come across that way to you, but be ready for that. It's kind of pungent. Get my cream in the bowl.
I have bees. Could I bring honey from home?
You can, you just can't use it in this.
Okay.
You know why?
No.
Not pasteurized.
Oh.
Commercial kitchen. Otherwise it could. Delicious. Do you tend them too?
Huh?
Do you tend them?
A little bit. I don't know enough about them to really do everything, but I check in on them and I take care of them as much as I can. If you would like some honey, we still have like
Well, yeah.
5 pounds of it.
Stuff.
I
Right
would
there.
love some. Your bees kind of overwork, don't they?
No.
She beats them with a whip every day. I was gonna make me
I would
joke,
love
but I
some.
said not to.
If you have extra.
I think we still do. I mean, we hardly ever use it.
I mean, we use it for sandwiches every day.
Yeah.
For lunches.
All you do to pasteurize it is heat it up.
I can actually get you some jars.
We make our own jam at home.
Alright, good
So-
job.
I'm saying so you didn't have to spare any jars and stuff. We have our own.
We got bubbles everywhere. I'm gonna drip
Wanna
this
know how
into
many
the
jars you
yolk as I
have?
whisk it. It's gonna want to splash, so be careful.
Very aromatic.
Smells so good.
It smells awesome.
If my dog smelled like that after she had a bath, I'd be happy.
Me too. God, my dog is disgusting.
Kind of funky to me, but that's just me, I guess.
Do not like
Oh, I do. I don't like wet dogs. They're not. Get dirt and slime all over you. No, it's like,
Golden
Cats are
Retriever.
better.
I got 2 cats. I like cats.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
You're full of it today.
I'm always full of it, at least that much.
Whoa. So, again, a little bit light, It's not there yet. I'm gonna get it over a flame though, kind of speed up the process.
Oh, it's singing. There it goes.
Aardvark?
So another type of sabayon, really, right? We got yolks and sugar. This form the honey in this case instead of granulated sugar.
I would give my dog a bath every day if he smelled
And
like
again,
that.
because it's sabayon, we're adding alcohol. In this case, rum. And just like before, take care to get some good foam on the yolks here. That's going to affect how lofty and light your mousse is going to be and how much it's going to fill up that form. What we're going to try to do is put enough mousse in there so it comes up to the top edge of the acetate, and that'll be our guide. We'll use our long offset or large offset rather to kind of smooth it across the top, but lay it directly on the acetate, which is level with the acetate.
Sounds like you're beating it up.
Alright, so light in color.
Teeny tiny Indiana Jones.
Chocolate goes in first. Can I get 2 more spatulas, please, for somebody? Thanks. Oh, wow, are those mine? I knew I had them. Thank you. Sorry about that. Stick around. Chocolate first, and then the rum.
Grab the coffee itself.
Rum goes in. One thing I will do though is reuse this chocolate spatula because I want to straighten the sides down. And really, what I should do is put it back in this bowl. Because almost inevitably I'll get some dry yolk here that's not going to come off. And I don't want that as a white speck in my base there. So. Heat. So a really low flame on this bain-marie, not very hot. We want to keep it kind of warm. And then cream time. You guys give me a giant whisk like this one, please. It'll be a lot more efficient, so make sure you guys got a big enough whisk. Cool. This one's a little bit tiny. Medium would work probably if you had a monster arm.
It's just a little whiskey, right?
What?
Just a little whiskey, right?
Man, did you eat sugar today? Is that what happened to you?
Bacon pastry. Yes. Sugar is inevitable. No more sugar for you.
You just went into the sugar bin.
You're not the boss of me.
No.
Darn it.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
Darn it. I didn't think that through. Oh my goodness.
Little hobbits.
My feet aren't hairy, thank you very
I'm a
much.
halfling, thank you very much.
You're half a hobbit?
Halfling.
That's what a hobbit is.
I
to dwarf once.
So garnish on this, when it's done, it'll be mousse in the acetate, level with the top of the acetate. And I'll do that when it comes out. Chill it, again, this is probably 4 hours on this one total. And then when you're ready for check off, I'm gonna put a little bit of a pile of toasted almond slivers in the middle, and then dusting up cocoa powder on top of that.
The teeniest.
Go for a soft peak. And then we'll put it in that chocolate base and whisk it like crazy. So, like I said, it might seem counterintuitive because you want to protect your foam here in the form of whipped cream. But remember, you're starting to set up that chocolate. It's going to get hard to turn into specks, so you got to kind of move quickly. And yeah, you'll deflate some of your foam on your whipped cream, but it'll be worth it in texture when you're done. So, unless you want chocolate chips, then you know. That later, we'll see. Now there'll be a big difference between the chocolate texture and the whipped cream texture, so you want to start out kind of slow but then get crazy with it and start scraping the sides down as soon as you can without it jumping out of the bowl. I gotta try to work them out. Oh my gosh, what's that? All right. Into the mold. Man, we shy on volume, I think. Yeah, I got specks there too, look at that.
And you got water.
I did. Good eye. Tell me sooner.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Next time.
Yeah, I'll get you next time.
So I'm shy on volume, but probably about a cup or so. Fluid ounces on there. I don't know what's the main word. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the thing. So yeah, inside the acetate, if you don't quite have enough volume. Ideally, though, you get it up to the top of that, so you get kind of level and flat. But you might have to do what I'm doing now and kind of spiral it in there. So anyway, if you get to the top of the acetate, one key step will be to push it from the center out. So do this, and then scrape off with the acetate. What you don't want to do is come off the acetate here, and then push it in, because you'll inevitably bring it with you and it'll put a dent in your mousse. So always go from the center out and finish on the edge of the acetate instead of the other way around. Don't do this, center out. That's if you end up volume. You guys should have pretty good luck. I almost got it. But if you don't, just kind of level it as best you can on the inside. And then chill, again, 3 to 4 hours on this one before the acetate comes off the nuts. and then the dusting. If you're worried about any air pockets on the edge, that will get roughed up when the acetate comes off. So if you want to, you can take a small offset, imagine this is it, and just smooth it down to the edge of the cake. If you go over the cake, it might smear it. So keep the cake clean, just take that offset down to the edge of the cake, but then go all the way around and kind of smooth it out. You don't have to do that, but if you want a nice smooth edge, that would work. Some mousses do set up firmer and smoother than others. This is one that does not. As soon as you get the acetate, it'll kind of leave little peaks everywhere, and that's okay. But if you want to smooth it, offset down to the edge of the cake, and that's it. You guys have any questions on it?
Not right now.
Not right now.
I think it's marinated with almonds on top.
Yeah. Toasted slivered almonds, and then the last thing, dusting with powdered sugar, or cocoa powder rather. Cocoa powder.
I've got it on tape. You said powdered sugar.
So I'm gonna cater at this till next week. So make sure when you guys use it, you cater at it when you're done, please, because it'll keep it drying out and make it usable still. Any questions? All right, everybody enjoy your weekends. Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
Group 1, stick around. We have a busy night tonight.